Okay, in this screencast, I'm going to show you how to turn your survey or your form into a quiz where Google Forms will grade it for you. So if you go into settings, since I was playing around with this when I went into quizzes, it already slid this button on for me. So let me just show you that again. If you click on settings and over to quizzes, you want to slide this on to where it says make this a quiz. Assign point values to questions and allow auto grading. Yay! So now you have options. Immediately release grade immediately after each submission, or you can choose, and that means not after each question, but after they turn in the quiz, they could see how they did. Or you could choose later after manual review if you don't want them to see the grade right away. So for right now, I'm just going to do immediately after each submission. And then, and then down here, I can choose respondent can see missed questions, correct answers. That's after they answer, of course. And of course, you want to keep on point values so they know what they're working for. So I'm going to click save. And then the way this works, and I've already done this, is I can go into here, and now that I've checked quiz under each question, it's going to give me the option to choose the answer key. Now in this case, I don't want to add a correct answer because everybody will have a different name. I'm also going to leave that set to 0 points. So I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, same thing with what level do you teach? Under answer key, I'm going to leave it as set to 0. And I'm not selecting anything. So under Wales R for my multiple choice, if I click on that, you would select the correct answer by hitting the radio button, the little radio button in front of it, and it will put a green check next to it right here so that you can see that that is the correct answer that is selected. And then for answer key 1 point, if I go into, answer key, you select. If I can make this as many points as I want, but since I'm not an evil teacher, I'm just going to set it to 1 point for now. And then coming down, same thing. If I go into answer key, I can choose if it's true or false. In this case, I'm going to choose true, that whales move their tails up and down. I can set it to how many points I want. And I'll keep going through all the questions. Now, this one is interesting because I set this ahead of time. But if I go into short, this is a short answer. So let me just delete all these. So this is what it's going to look like when you first come in, like this. And you would type in what the correct answer is. I'll put in baleen. But not all kids are going to spell baleen correctly. So you could put in here baleen, baleen. I don't know. You could put a couple different spellings in. But the thing is, they could still get it right if you choose to accept it if they spell it wrong. And if it's not within one of these misspellings, Google's going to mark it wrong. Or you could put mark all others incorrect. If you don't mark all others incorrect, I don't really know how this is going to grade it for you, honestly. But anyways, so that's why I tend to not put in any kind of short answer if I want something to score it for me automatically. Or I could not have it score at all, and I can manually score that one in the spreadsheet. So that's an option too. So down here, this is interesting because this is a check from the list below. And I can do, when I checked the 3 that are the correct answers. And so from there, what you can see is I have my 3 choices that are correct. And I can choose, I'm going to put 3 points, but I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to take this option off because this is actually really annoying. Because look to see how this one is scored. You need to actually preview and try your quizzes out as a student before you give it to your class so you know exactly what you're setting them up for. And then how hard with this quiz, I'm going to choose no points and I'm not putting any kind of answer feedback. That's another thing I wanted to point out to you is like up in here, you could put answer feedback. So if I choose answer feedback, I could put in here, remember, not all whales have teeth, some have baleen. I could put in here a link to a document. I could even link to a video if they get that one wrong, where they learn more about baleen. So there's a lot of advanced options that you could do and make it really personalized and give students the help that they need. So once you do that, I'm going to go up to preview so I can see what this looks like. All right. So now what is my first and last name? Amy Bopo. What level do you teach? This time I'm going to be middle school. What are whales are mammals. They move their tails up and down the water. True. I'm going to put baleen. I'm going to spell it correctly. And check all from the list below. Let's say I get 2 of the 3 correct. And how hard was the quiz? I don't know. And nothing. And click submit. Now, when I do that, it gives me the option to view score. So I'm going to click view score. Oh no, I got 3 out of 6. I'm so sad. Well, let's take a look. If I scroll down, it shows me, yes, I got this one correct. I got 1 point. I got 1 point here. I got 1 point here. But look at how Google scored this one. Even though I made this worth 3 points, thinking 1, 2, 3, I got 2 of the 3 correct. See, blue and orca. But since I missed one, Google's going to mark all 3 of them as it's not going to do partial scoring. So because of that, I would probably break this up into separate questions, because I, in real life, would probably give the kids 2 out of 3 points on that. So you need to be aware and try your forms ahead of time to see how Google's going to score it. Okay. What also is pretty neat, let me close out of that, come back. If I go back to my edit tab, see where it says responses 3? Well, now look at this. It's telling me my average points, my median, my range. Is showing how people are scoring down here. It's giving me all sorts of great data. I can scroll down and see a summary of how they're responding by question. Right. So this is great for data and seeing where kids need additional help on. I can also come up here, and if I go to my spreadsheet that we had created before, see, so these 2, my second 2 here were scored as a quiz. So if I come over here, it's going to show me what my score is at the end. So you can have Google grade your quizzes for you automatically, which is pretty cool. Anyways, I'm going to come back to my questions. So this is back to edit mode. And I'm going to leave off here. And it saves automatically. And in the next screencast, I'll show you how to just grab your live link to post to your website for kids to access.